What's interesting is how was the Mumbai scene back then? Because I wasn't vegan back then. So what I know about the community is only from the point after which I became vegan.
Right.
So how did things pan out before that?
So back then in Mumbai, there are obviously many vegans, but I don't know if activism, like street activism, or vegan outreach was not taking place on a massive level. Even right now, vegan outreach is not taking place in India on a massive level. It's all animal rights, animal welfare, blah blah blah, save cats and dogs. It's this intermingled, messed up, warped thing that it's like a jack of all trades, master of none message that comes out all the time. So there were plenty of vegans back then here, and I heard basically about this few names. And I became friends with a girl called Brinda Pujare, Tejas Mahajan. Basically, Brinda was the first person I got in touch with here in Mumbai, and she was really helpful. She is the one who put me in touch with Kaisha Rochlani. And there are other vegans like Cecil, Tejas, Nikita, forgetting a few names. So I told them, like, hey, since I was already volunteering with Living Free, I was a volunteer at FIAPO back then. Back when I quit my job, I told FIAPO, can I please use your name on my letterhead when I give letters to schools and colleges? And they were like, okay. And I was like, so grateful. I had like my FIAPO card and stuff, like I'm a volunteer and stuff. So FIAPO was the one to help me out in the beginning. And I told them, like, I have their stands and laptops and all this stuff. Let's do outreach. And we started doing it, and we started posting it all over on vegan Facebook groups in 2017. And many Mumbaikers told, you know what, we want to join this too. And they joined us, and suddenly we had like this one cube of fruits in which we had 80 people. It went in like from 3 weeks, from zero outreach to 80 people standing in Bandra, holding laptops, wearing masks, and doing outreach. It was crazy. Like, people really had gave a good response when we started putting pictures on social media. So that was the big help there. But yeah, in the beginning, I don't think anything was happening there.
Ironically, I'm wearing the T-shirt that we made in that group. The group is called Mumbai Animal Liberation League. And that's the T-shirt I'm wearing right now. So I don't know if that was a coincidence.
No, I still have their shirts because Kamya kept telling me, like, dude, I made too many shirts. Please buy some shirts. I was like, okay. She made too many shirts. So.
We might even come up with our own.
Yeah, you guys could, but do that much later, like much later. So
yeah. So Gaurav, like when you came to activism, I think it was already. I think mall was already in place.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you can tell us like what used to happen at an outreach, because I remember that there was this one period of time where Mumbai was apparently the most active city in India. Right. Yeah. So every outreach I used to see, like, and that was a normal outreach. It wasn't even like Cube of Truth or Earthlings Experience or anything like that. For a regular weekly outreach, weekend outreach, there used to be at least 20 people who used to come every week. And I think that was kind of the prime point of activism.
When I got into the scene, it was, I think, the end of 2017. It was 2017 June. Me and my brother went vegan. So I think I've told this on the show before, but I'll just tell it for Arvind's sake. So I went vegan and I started getting active on the Facebook groups. So there was this guy called Tejas Mahajan who sought me out.
Oh yeah.
Who sought me out? He messaged me like, where are you in Mumbai? Come join us for outreach. So I was an extreme introvert. Like I had a handful of friends, and I didn't even talk much about veganism. I was just happy being by myself. So this guy used to message me every single week on Facebook, like, come to this week, come to this activism we are doing, come to the outreach, you'll enjoy it. So one fine day I got free from my college early. So the backstory is my college is quite far away from Mumbai. So unlike Aputa, his college is like very near to the place of the outreach happening. Mine is like one and a half hour away. So I got free early. So I decided, man, I've been
ditching this guy.
Yeah, I've been ditching this guy for so long. I'll just go for one time. I'll just make him happy, and then that'll be it. I won't go anytime more. So I went. I think there were about 10 people on that day.
Okay. Wow, which location was this?
This is Marine Drive.
Marine Drive, okay.
Yeah.
I think 10
and
people were there.
and fate had it so that he had to meet me, who is a Dominican. So we live very close by. So we live only 20 minutes away from each other. So so I was like, oh, you live there? And I'm like, oh yeah, I also live there. So you also live there? Okay. So we can do activism there. We don't have, because for me it was no problem, because I anyway had to go to town every day for college. So I didn't. It doesn't really matter for me where the location is. But for him, it made a difference because his college was also away and his home is also away from town. And for me also, it'll be like kind of slightly convenient, because I can, I can just come to the location and do outreach. So that's how Kalyan Mumbai Dombili activism scenes began. But then a lot of stuff happened. We had like 10, I think I've told you that we had like 10-15 people in this area already. So after that, the same thing continued, and then 2019 ALMI happened, and all the stuff surrounding that, whatever. And then 2020 pandemic hit. So so we said, talking about pandemic, now the pandemic has forced everyone to do online activism right now.
That's true, yeah.
But you have been doing it since quite some time. You have been doing it since 2018 or I don't remember.
2017 we opened 2016 we opened the YouTube channel, but we hardly had like 1 or 2-3 videos. That's it. 2017 is when we opened the Facebook page, and we started uploading videos like Tamil, only in Tamil back then, once a month or something. I think I was doing more lectures back then. We also didn't have proper equipment to record with and stuff. Once we managed to obtain all those things, 2018, I was still lecturing in Hyderabad in the month of January, and I was then still shooting some videos now and then. And after that, when I came back to Chennai in 2018, I had to get married in around the month of August. I had my marriage. So since she's from a different country, I had to get some papers in order. I couldn't go and do much lectures. So I was just doing some few online video stuff. And by that time, we had already hit like some 30,000 followers on Facebook. So we were like, you know what, this is working. So let's continue doing this. So we are focusing mainly on videos. Then after marriage and stuff in 2019, I just made up my mind, like, dude, like, I mean, let's just say I give 100 lectures in a year, and in each lecture, let's just say hypothetically there are 50 people. That's like 5,000 people. If I make one video, I can have 80,000, 1 lakh people watch that video. I mean, like, this is not even a contest. Like, I mean, I should be focusing on this. Like, social media has given us an ability that we could not have even dreamed of like 10, 20 years ago. So that's when I thought, you know what, even if I'm doing lectures, the most important part is record yourself and post it online. It's not even, in fact, these days when I lecture, it's not even for the people watching, because people keep asking me like, oh, why are you lecturing to students? Like, one of my videos went viral. They were like, why is this guy lecturing to students, to little children? I was like, just letting you know, I wanted to speak in a particular school because I wanted to say something on the mic so I can record it and put it on screen. That's it. It's not like I chose students there. So whatever you do, put it online, because there's a chance people might watch it and might go big. So social media really has helped us from 2017.
You know, we have a very, very funny story about this. So by the time we started doing activism, and then firstly, I was not at all into the watching the slaughterhouse footage and all. I understand how hard it must have been for you, but then I never had the balls to do it, because like, if I'm going vegan, then I don't want to watch that. I don't want to go through that struggle. So I just went vegan overnight. So by this point of time, I was looking a little bit into the vegan YouTube scene, like what is happening, Indian vegan scene. So I came across your name, like Arvind, animal activist. Okay, fine. So my brother and I we were just like typing your name onto YouTube. So we just typed vegan, Arvind, animal, and then the recommended the search suggestion came Arvind animal activities. So from that point of time, we just start calling you Arvind animal activities. So this
it's not just that. Indians really have a problem in typing certain English words.
No, it actually comes up. If you search that, it actually comes up.
I know it does. It's not just that. I have a video titled "Milk is Murder," but let's just go and type in YouTube. Milk is M, you will get milk is murderer, not milk is murder. Milk is murderer. So people keep typing weird stuff on YouTube. I've seen that.
So since that time you became the Arvind Animal Activities. So the guy who does activities with animals.
So when me and Gaurav were discussing as to who to call on our next episode, so Gaurav is like, let's call activities.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to mentally register that activities is supposed to be, I have to call Arvind.
Okay.
So if you had the chance to go back, and if you think about what could you have done differently in that era, like when you went vegan, what are some things like you'll recommend some people who are new and maybe they were your age, around 15 to 20, living with family and all. So what would you what would you have done differently? What would you recommend people to do differently?
This is really a case by case. We have to look at this because one size does not fit all here at all. It really depends on so many things. There is a boy or a girl, because even boys can literally move out and stay when they're 20 years old. Girls really have a difficult time doing that, because plenty of people will message me saying that, hey, I'm a wife, I want to become vegan, but my husband's making me cook meat. What do I do? So it really depends on each individual person what they say. I can tell them. There are two things. You're talking about being an activist and being vegan. What are you exactly talking about? Your question is
just about going vegan at the beginning, because eventually people will decide about going activist as well.
Yeah. So about being a vegan, I think the best advice I can give you is don't fight with your family. Don't fight with your parents. I did that. It's not worth it. You will regret it as you grow older. I mean, if at least it made a difference, I'd understand why we do it, but it doesn't make any difference. In fact, it makes things much worse. So in the beginning, and also please stop trying to make your family go vegan. I think one mistake all of us vegans do is we become vegan. And then you don't eat this, you don't do that. We have to realize that we are just basically more sophisticated monkeys. We live in a society, we live in a pack of 4 or 5 at home, basically called home. And just like any other animal group, there's a hierarchy here. You have the father, you have the mother, you have the elder sibling, the younger sibling, the grandparents, all of this. You don't want to piss off the elder monkeys. It's not fruitful. So you don't try to convert the elder monkeys yet. You first let them know that, hey, I'm going to be a herbivorous monkey. I'm going to be a vegan going forward. And you just accept me as who I am. Just don't hate me for the decisions I make. Allow me to be a vegan here in this house. First, establish that and make that easy for you. After that, if once they see you as a vegan for 6 months or a year, they're like, yeah, this is possible. Then talk to them about them going vegan. Because in the beginning, when you try to put everything in one lump, man, it's going to backfire like how it did for me. It's very bad. It's terrible. I know one thing, again, it depends also on family, because as I told you, I have no connection with my family. For example, my family did not go vegan, even if, suppose let's just say, when my parents told they will not go vegan, but I went and lived alone, there was no sentiment of, oh my God, I'm not living with them anymore. In fact, I was happy to not live with them anymore. But some people might say that, hey, it hurts me to see my parents be rude to me. It hurts me to, have my parents, not even, they treat you differently. They literally eat ghee sweets in front of me because they know I'm vegan. There are families like that. And man, family is just, I don't have a proper answer for this. It's so difficult for some people. It is again, they have to tell me the exact scenario, and based on that, I can try to give suggestions. But the one major thing I'll say is try not to fight. Of course, put your foot down. If they do stupid stuff like, hey, eat this, I made this for you. Then they're like, hey, I put milk in that. Means then, you give it to them left and right. Don't put up with bullshit. That we shouldn't put up with that. But yeah, be patient. Let them first accept you, because we as humans, when one of our family members does something different, we just get we have a problem with it for some reason. Right? In our tribe, if one person's an atheist, he's not bothering you in any way. He's just doing what he wants to do. But no, he shouldn't do that. It impedes our authority here. So yeah, it also helps to be quite intelligent and understand those kind of minor social things. Yeah, I think I'm not giving a proper answer.
Yeah, we got
that's
it.
fine.
So I just need to I faced a similar thing, but then someone sensible enough told me about it. When I first went vegan, around 2017. So for everyone, like just like Arvind said, a lot of vegans will tell you that there is the angry phase in the beginning. Like why is this happening? Why is everybody so wrong? I am awakened. Why don't they listen to me? So that in that angry phase, I was on the verge of distancing myself emotionally from my friends and my family in that manner. So it was not as bad as so many people might have. But then I was like keeping myself away. So a very sensible non-vegan friend of mine told me, like, if you do this, then you lose the chance to convert them in the future. So I think
that's true.
I think that is one thing that people can take away from what Arvind has told us today. Like, it's very hard to convince your family.